Hey, what's going on, guys? So there's some stuff to talk about today, and I feel like we should do it together, so let's do that. Let's discuss, you and me, one-on-one. Let's go. Alright, so let's get started. I want to talk about Noble Knights and Noble Knight Brothers, the whole archetype in general, just not the new card that came out. The hype is all too real about this. I think, what is it? Yeah, Medrot went up like $15 or something. I don't know. It's ridiculous. Noble Knights aren't meta. I was just making sure I didn't get shot by that. Yeah, they're not a meta deck. Are they good? Yeah, they're pretty damn good. But they have a lot of flaws, and one of the flaws are, they're not, what's it called? They aren't slow, they're definitely not slow. Pack enough oomph? The way I would call it is Noble Knight's a good game 1 deck, because siding is so easy. But if your side deck does not have side deck cards for it, you're gonna get owned. But if I was going to a YCS or whatever, I know Noble Knights are a deck that could probably put my spectrum, and I can deal with it easily, is 3 creature swaps. Guaranteed, done. You win. Now, granted, it's not every time, but 3 creature swap is awesome. Now, for who you do not know, creature swap is not a targeted effect. It's called like player choice effect. Basically, it's you having to choose for yourself, so it doesn't target it. It doesn't matter if you put on Noble Arms Excalibur. Yeah, I think that's one that he can't be targeted or whatever. It doesn't work. It doesn't affect it. Creature swap still goes off. So you get his monster when you have his Artorias or whatever, and you have like, what is it, like 3,600 attack, and its effects, it's all yours now, done, yours. So, right there, it's easy to side against, but let's go on to talking about Brothers. Why is Brothers not that great? Well, let's read it together, shall we? This card can only attack while you control exactly 3 Noble Knight monsters and no other monsters. When this card is normal summoned, you can special summon up to 2 Noble Knight monsters from your hand, but you cannot special summon monsters for the rest of their turn except Noble Knight monsters. Once per turn, you can target 3 Noble Knight cards and Noble Arms cards in your graveyard, shuffle 3 of them into the deck to draw 1 card. First off, you don't want your equipped cards back in your deck after you get them out, so what the fuck? Also, though you can pull off his effect to get the other Noble Knight cards, so you can XYZ up, or Synchro, whatever, I barely, even with other Noble Knight cards and other plays, you always focus on getting the 1 card up and getting your XYZ right away. It doesn't really change it or help it. It doesn't make it worse necessarily. One, I don't know what room in the Noble Knight deck you could even put that in, because the room is pretty limited as it is for cards. But now people are going to try running 3 him and to spam Artorias, or whatever his name is, I can't even pronounce it, even more consistently. Which is fine, but the deck is pretty consistent to get him out anyways. This just gives it another gimmick, which the deck doesn't even have room for. Yeah, you might be able to take out some Noble Knight monster, I forget the one that pops or something, you can take him out, but why? He has his own ability, it's good. This isn't the card Noble Knights needed to become awesome. And everybody who argues with me, okay, this is why I mean they're not meta, because meta, if you're gonna drop the amount of money you want on Noble Knights, you can drop the same amount of money on another meta deck that will beat Noble Knights pretty consistently, especially if you get your 3 creature swaps, which are what, like 80 cents a piece? And I know you can't go against a deck that I mean, you can't say a deck's bad just because it's easy to side against. A lot of decks are easy to side against, which I also agree with. But there's something about Noble Knights that it's just, they're not consistent enough, but it's not even necessarily that, it just seems like they only have their one play, which is stack up Artorias Knight, whatever, that card. I rarely even see the Synchro be played. The deck is fun, don't get me wrong, I like the deck, it's really fun. I always liked the idea of equip monsters since the Warrior structure deck with the Guilfords and stuff back in 2006. I was like 12 years old when that came out or something. Yeah, that was pretty cool. But this card isn't what made the deck better. The price to performance ratio just isn't good enough for this deck. If everything was cheaper in this deck, you'd see so many more people play this, and it'd probably top actually a lot more, like regionals and stuff like that, even though it does have pretty good consistent topping in regionals. You might even see it top on a YCS if the damn deck was a little cheaper. Because why would somebody want to knock down the money on this deck when they could spend the same amount on another deck and probably go a lot farther into a tournament? It's not even a skill level involved. I'm not saying Noble Knights don't require skill, but I'm saying this is a deck that it's just too expensive for its performance. It's because Konami printed everything in Secret Rare, and then didn't make the deck that great. Now, you can't know for sure, but I'm just calling it out. Maybe somebody will do some broken play or find a way to make this card amazing, Noble Knight Brothers, but I doubt. There's just no reason for it. And the secondary effect, the 3 into the deck and draw 1, you don't want that. Any Noble Knight player knows you want all your Noble Arms cards in the graveyard. That's what you're trying to get with boards. You want them in the grave. You don't want them to bring back so you can draw them back. It's kind of pointless pluses, if you can even consider it pluses. No, what Noble Knights need, and I'm going to say it right now, if you want the deck to be competitive, is for a price drop, and a boss monster. Not all decks have it, and I know Arcticorius or whatever in the XYZs are their boss monster, but maybe something else that's different that's boss. Like, okay, even a deck that doesn't have a boss monster, but you can put one in it that isn't an Xyz or a Synchro, is like for Raccoons you have Grand Soil and Redox, stuff like that. You need a boss monster and this. And yes, I think there is a way to run BLS in it, if I'm sure, because there's a dark, but it's still not. Maybe there's another dark monster or something, I don't know, but that needs a boss monster, or at least a better spell card. The monster count's fine. They need a better Noble Arms card. Boss monster, Noble Arms card, that's what they need. But yeah, guys, that's just my thoughts. I'm not trying to hurt any people's feelings. If you spent the money on Noble Knights, that's fine. You're having fun with it. I'm not bashing you for it. Just saying, don't think it's going to be as competitive as you want it to. But hey, I don't know everything, so hey, opinions are opinions. Let me know what you think down below in this video. Okay guys, well that's all I got. If you like this video, thumbs it up, subscribe, share it, all that jazz. And yeah, show me some love. So, thanks for watching once again, and I'll see you later. Peace.